The porch light was off, which was the first thing Cole noticed, because his mother never let the porch light go dark on a holiday. It was a rule so old it had stopped being a rule and become a fact, like gravity. He stood in the driveway a moment with his bag still over his shoulder, looking at the black windows, telling himself it was probably nothing. A blown bulb. Everyone out back, the door was locked. He used his old key, the one he kept on his ring more from habit than need, and stepped into a house that felt wrong before he could say why. Then he understood. It was cold. Not chilly. Cold, the specific stale cold of a place where the heat has been off for hours, maybe longer. The note was on the kitchen counter, weighted down by the sugar bowl. We're in Cancun. You handle Grandma. Back Sunday. Mom, he read it twice. Not because it was confusing, because it wasn't. He found her in the back bedroom, on the floor between the bed and the nightstand, in the dark, wrapped in a throw blanket that hadn't been enough. The space heater sat 2 feet away, cord dangling, unplugged. Her phone was nowhere. She was shivering in the specific way that wasn't quite shivering anymore, the kind that had started to slow. Grandma. He was on the floor before he'd decided to move. Grandma, hey! Her eyes opened. Found him. Something in her face loosened, just slightly, the way a held breath does. He had his phone out, already dialing, when her hand closed around his wrist. Her grip was weak but insistent, the grip of someone spending everything she had left on one thing. Don't tell them yet, she said. Her voice was a scrape. Grandma, I have to call, not them. Her eyes cut briefly, toward the doorway, toward the rest of the house, the rest of the family, everyone who wasn't there. Not yet. He didn't understand, and there wasn't time to make him understand. She pressed something into his palm, small, folded, warm from being held against her, and closed his fingers around it before her hand went slack. He called 911. He said the address twice because his voice wasn't working right. He didn't look at what she'd given him until the paramedics had her on the gurney, blood pressure cuff already on, one of them asking him gently how long she might have been down there, and he had to say he didn't know. Could be hours. He didn't know. It was a piece of paper, refolded so many times the creases had gone soft. A note in her handwriting, dated 6 weeks earlier, addressed to no one and everyone. I have told them 3 times that I cannot be left alone overnight. I am writing this down because I am starting to think no one is listening, and if something happens, I want it on paper that I tried. He sat with it in the ambulance, the paper folded again in his fist, and didn't cry. He had the specific dry-eyed feeling of someone confirming something he'd already half known. He had known, actually. Not the shape of it, not this, not tonight, but the general weather of it. 2 years of being the one who called to check the pill organizer was full. 2 years of driving over on a Tuesday, because Grandma hadn't picked up, and everyone else assumed someone else had already gone. He didn't have kids. He didn't have a wife yet. This had made him, in the family's unspoken arithmetic, the available one, not chosen so much as defaulted to, the way water finds the lowest point without anyone deciding it should. He'd mentioned it once, at a birthday dinner lightly, the way you test whether a floor will hold your weight. Maybe we should look at some in-home help for her. His mother had said sure, someday, when it's really needed, in the tone people use for things they've already decided aren't urgent. Nobody had brought it up again. He hadn't pushed. He told himself pushing wasn't his role. At the hospital, waiting, he thought about that dinner a long time. Grandma stabilized. Mild hypothermia, dehydration, a bruised hip from the fall. Bad, not catastrophic, the doctor said, with the particular relief of someone who has seen this go worse. Cole sat with her until she was moved to a room, until she was sleeping. Actually sleeping. Not the frightening stillness from the bedroom floor. A woman from the hospital's social work office found him in the hallway near midnight. She introduced herself briskly, clipboard in hand, and explained that any 911 call involving a vulnerable adult found in those conditions automatically generated a referral, a home visit follow-up from Adult Protective Services. Standard, not optional, already logged in the system before he'd even left the ambulance. It wasn't punishment. It wasn't personal. It was simply what happened next, mechanically, the way a form triggers another form. Cole hadn't asked for it. He hadn't thought to. It had just started, the way a dropped stone starts water moving outward, whether or not you meant to throw it. He didn't tell his family that night. He told them the outline. Grandma fell. She's stable. Come home early. And let the rest sit in his phone, unsent, while they scrambled to change flights. They arrived Saturday, a day early, sunburned and apologetic in the loud, over-explaining way people are apologetic when they already suspect the apology won't be enough. His mother cried in the hospital corridor. His uncle kept saying, "We had no idea it was that bad," which Cole let pass without correction, because correcting it would have required more of him than he had left to give that week. The caseworker's visit happened 9 days later, at the house, scheduled and unavoidable. A woman with a folder asking straightforward questions about care arrangements, supervision, prior concerns. Cole answered honestly. He didn't editorialize. He didn't need to. The unplugged heater and the missing phone did their own explaining. His mother sat through it pale and quiet, offering nothing. And for once, nothing was the correct amount. Grandma decided, without ceremony, that she'd stay with Cole once she was released. Not a family meeting, not a vote. She simply told the caseworker, then told her son, in the same flat, settled tone she might use to announce what she wanted for dinner. Nobody argued. There wasn't really room to Cole set up the guest room that week. He didn't feel triumphant doing it. He felt tired in a way that had less to do with lost sleep and more to do with finally being believed. A full year of trying to be believed, resolved not by anyone apologizing properly, but by a caseworker with a clipboard and a stranger's protocol. His phone held 4 unread texts from his mother, something about talking things through as a family. He looked at them for a while. He hadn't decided yet whether to answer tonight, or let her keep waiting the way she once had.